Hello, and welcome to ABN's first Art Business webinar. I'm Jennifer Doolin-Wiley, Managing Editor of Art Business News. There's no denying it. Challenging times are ahead, but there are ways to survive and even prosper during economic downturn. Here today to provide you with the tools for success are two trusted business experts, Rafael Mael and Randy Slavin. Our first speaker, Rafael Mael, is an Art Expo educator and expert marketing strategist for Brand Launcher, a company that has worked with IBM, National Geographic, Nickelodeon, and the NBA, in addition to countless small businesses in the art world and beyond. Especially in today's economy, the difference between failure and success often comes down to focused marketing. That's why I'm so excited to have Rafael with us today. Our second speaker is Randy Slavin, Chief Financial Officer and co-founder of Masterpiece Publishing, one of the foremost fine art publishing companies in the industry, representing renowned artists Glenn Tarnowski and M.L. Snowden, among others. With degrees in business administration, business information, and economics, Randy is a valuable financial expert that we're thrilled to have on our side. So let's get started with our first half of the presentation, Art Marketing in Today's Economy with Rafael Mael.
Thanks, Jennifer. I was speaking recently to a gallery owner who specializes in commercial art, who's been in business for about 15 years. And I asked him, if you could advise a young student, just fresh out of college, who's thinking about going into the art industry, what one piece of advice would you give him? You know what he told me? He said, I would tell that student to get back into school and to go into the medical profession. There's a feeling of doom and gloom in the art world now. That's an attitude that's widespread. There's negativity coming all around. So let's review the difficulties we're facing as owners of art businesses, and then I'm going to give you a concrete strategy to overcome those difficulties in today's weak economy. So first of all, let's be honest with ourselves. There is a dark cloud hanging over the art world. The Commerce Department just released figures that personal income decreased by $20.7 billion in November alone. And consumer spending is down for the fifth straight month. And to add to that, you have the psychological hysteria that's been fed by the nonstop bad news that's sensationalized by the media. But the truth is, it's worse than that, because there are fundamental problems that are specific to the art business, that are specific to the art world. Consider this. Art is a discretionary purchase. Nobody needs art. And when consumers are afraid and they're feeling anxiety about their finances, then they're going to cut their spending to the bare necessities, like food and shelter. Art doesn't get consumed. Art doesn't become obsolete. And art's durable. Paintings and sculptures don't wear out. So it's true that architectural styles change and design trends shift, but there's nothing forcing your buyer to replace her art now. There's no reason why that purchase can't be delayed. And what all this means is that if you own an art gallery, you have an uphill battle to stay alive in today's economy. There is a dark cloud hanging over the art world. But you know what? There is a silver lining, if you know where to look. Your survival is driven by sales, and your sales are driven by marketing. So the problem is that when times are tough, most gallery owners squeeze up and they slash their marketing. And there's a word for that. That word is suicide. If you stop marketing in today's market, you're dead. But by the same token, if you blow your budget on potshot marketing, then you're going to end up spending a lot and getting a pittance in return. And that's not smart. Wild spending might work when consumers are flush with stock gains and a good job market and high housing values. But in today's environment, you need to be smart in your marketing. Very smart. So I'm going to introduce you to a different approach to marketing that works in an economic downturn. So here's the traditional approach to marketing. So this is a comprehensive view, the way a corporation might look at media spending. In the middle, you have your buyers. And around it are your mediums, right? In the mass communications world, we say media, and in the marketing world, we say mediums. So here are your basic choices. First of all, you have mass advertising. You can use print advertising, like newspapers and magazines, radio, TV, cable, maybe even outdoor advertising, like billboards and bus shelters. You can use direct marketing, which is anything that goes directly to a targeted list, like direct mail, postcards, text blast, voice blast, fax blast, anything that goes straight to someone. You have referral marketing, going after third-party endorsers like architects or interior designers or consultants. You have PR, putting out press releases, doing philanthropy or community activism, anything to generate buzz. Event marketing, like a showing or a wine and cheese event, going to a art or a design trade show or a convention, or if you're high-tech, even a teleseminar or a webinar like this one. Then you have networking, both in the real world and using social networking tools like LinkedIn. And finally, you have online marketing, which could be either online advertising or organic search engine optimization, SEO, or pay-per-click advertising like Google AdWords or Yahoo sponsored search. So it sounds great, right? Wrong. This is the wrong way to market in a depressed economy. And here's why. With traditional marketing, you send something to your prospect, and then the prospect has two choices: buy or goodbye. That's a problem, because the problem is that people don't buy when you want to sell. They buy when they are ready to buy. You can't force anyone to buy anything on your timetable. And even if you could, you shouldn't want to. Because have you ever bought anything and then afterwards you looked at it and you felt buyer's remorse? The psychologists call that post-purchase dissonance. And when you buy from someone and afterwards you feel like an idiot, one thing is for sure: you are never going back again. And in the art world, that is the kiss of death. But there's a better way. This is called next stepping. Have you ever seen dance steps that go, 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4? That's how this works. Instead of focusing on getting the sale, you're going to focus on getting your prospect to take the next step. Listen closely. In traditional sales, it's all about closing the deal. In next stepping, it's all about the relationship. Now, it may sound like a small difference, but this is a completely different approach to marketing. And if you do it well, it can have an extraordinary impact on your business. Now, let me show you what this looks like. Remember the example I showed you before? Buy or goodbye? This is an example of next stepping. This could go in a number of different ways, but this is what it might look like. First of all, you have an outbound marketing piece. It goes to your prospect and drives them to your website. Once they're on the website, you encourage him to opt in, to give your contact information. The next step is for the prospect to come visit your gallery, to actually come on in, where you give away a free gift. And we're going to discuss what that looks like. Now that you know what your prospect wants, you know what he likes, you send a targeted offer, and you lead to a final purchase. But it doesn't end there. You continue with the relationship. You get a testimonial. You send out seasonal offers. You get referrals from your new delighted customers. So why does this work? Because you're taking the time to carefully build and develop a relationship. Just like in your personal life, it takes time to cultivate relationships. And in the art business, it's worth your while to plant and nurture relationships with your buyers, with designers, and with consultants. So let's go back and take a quick look at each of these steps and see how they